so effed, it's not even funny. We are so freaking screwed.
Moab, Utah, one of the prettiest places in the United States and home to an epic annual off-road event called the Easter Jeep Safari. That is where we're trying to fix up this 1986 Jeep Grand Wagoneer to drive from Michigan 1,700 miles across the Rockies to Utah. And in typically cliche fashion, we are behind schedule. I'm Andrew Collins, that's David Tracy, and gonna get a taste for what a budget build really looks like. It's not pretty. We gotta get out of this car. Fuck. So we're watching the sunset over Kansas, day 2 of our long haul to Moab. Today's been relatively uneventful. Right, Mr. Tracy?
Jeep's still cruising like a champ. No big deal, you know, this thing's incredible.
And the weather's been a bit more merciful today as well. So, just kind of enjoying the scenery, enjoying the road food, and these super comfy seats.
You know, oftentimes people ask me, how is it that you can buy a total shit box, take it on a long trip, and have any sort of confidence that it'll get there? Well, first off, I don't have confidence that it'll get there, but I do have a method that I think works. Fluids need to be clean and they need to be cool. So the cooling system is like the #1 thing you gotta make sure is on point. You don't play around with cooling systems. That means transmission, and that means engine cooling system. Wow, the brake light, come on, let me, it's weird. The beauty of car forums, you can solve all your problems, you know? I was reading through the International Full-Size Jeep page, and someone mentioned the park brake can cause the brake light to come on. So I just touched it with my foot, the brake light is off. I can stop stressing and we can go over the Colorado Rockies. So we're just getting into Colorado, and the road madness is starting to set in. We got one state left, about to hit Denver. So far we've learned that crossing Kansas in the dark is a long and lonely, and dark and repetitive action. But in the daytime, it's quite lovely. So Monday, the day of the Jeep concept drive that we're dragging 1,700 miles across the country to see, has begun. We're east of Denver, about 80 miles east of Denver. We're running on a severe energy deficit, little to no visibility, pretty much no prospects for sleep until we get in. So while the car is actually performing very well, we're getting into the serious risk for pilot error kind of moments. So we go ahead and drop the speed back and figure out what the hell we're doing. What do you reckon? What do you reckon, DT? I mean,
what's your play right now?
My play is just keep cruising until I can no longer cruise. Well before that, actually. I prefer to get to the point where I prefer not to get to the point where I'm too tired to drive. So I'm trying to remain cognizant of my mental state throughout. If I get tired, I'm pulling over. It was a long night through fucking the Eisenhower Pass. Let's get out of here. Oh fuck, smoke. Smoke coming from the exhaust.
And the front.
Yep.
Oh, it smells like coolant.
Yep.
Bro, no!
We gotta get out of this car. Blew a hose on our heater core. We may have also blown our head gaskets. I don't know. See a lot of smoke coming from our heads. Man, I should have paid more attention to that. This is bad. 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 Bad. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It is not good. It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright. Everything will be be okay, right? Yes, of course. It has to. This is bad. I probably should have cut the motor. I should have let it idle, and I should have turned the heat up. It will not start anymore. We're gonna have to let it cool off. We're on a very busy highway. We need to sort of get out of where we are right now. This is a dangerous place for us to be stuck. I don't know what happened. We don't know what the failure was yet. We blew a heater core hose, but I think we'll be able to cut because it's blown close to the heater core, we may be able to cut it, but at this point, the motor doesn't even turn over, so we got a problem. Doesn't run. I'm assuming we're gonna have some head gasket issues. Because we overheated this thing pretty freaking good. It was pegged. Absolutely pegged. See that? That's steam coming from
Valve cover. Or is it from the head?
Could be. It looks like it's coming from the head. We're so effed, it's not even funny. We are so freaking screwed. It is not even funny. I'm gonna cut this and then just route it. Jeez. I'm gonna cut it. I'm just gonna cut it right here, plumb it in, fill up our coolant.
I just wait for it to cool off.
Yeah, of course. That's what I mean. And then we're just gonna have to pray at that point that somehow the freaking heads didn't go.
At least the car looks very regal from here.
What?
At least the car looks very regal from here.
Yeah, great. It's freaking dead. The motor is dead. It's dead. We have murdered the Jeep. How dead is it? That is the question. We don't know the answer yet.
I saved my coffee. Was it the right thing to do? Probably not. Not proud of it.
Okay, I'm gonna go back there through the rear door. I'm gonna grab our jump pack and take it from there. Did I bring the shears? That's the question.
I got a blade.
Yes. Yeah.
You want this?
Yes, thank you. Perfect.
Sure that's cool enough to touch?
Have to find out.
Jesus.
I would love for this to be the primary cause of failure. Alright. It's all fixed up. We don't have a burst hose anymore. Alright, check underneath for leaks.
I mean, there's a lot coming out, but I can't tell if it's leaking or just spilling.
Hold on. Basically, all that coolant I just put in, which is relatively cool, is being heated up quickly, which is not good. I don't know. Could have been a leak. Could have drained the radiator clear. Well, I don't know. This is interesting. I wonder if this thing will fire again. If we can get coolant into it, we can get it to fire again, we can monitor it. But if we got it too hot and blew the heads, then we're gonna be walking. This thing's not gonna run as well as it did before this, by the way.
Okay.
If this thing gets to Moab, it will limp there. It will limp there, it will be...
Oh, Moab? What about Detroit?
Oh, dude, don't even... At this point, we might just have to scratch the VIN, pull a plate, and roll it right into this ditch.
Not Redwood.
It literally has no coolant in it, dude. Yeah, we're gonna try to fire it. I don't know how long this is gonna run. We gotta get to the parts store ASAP. I'm gonna keep in this right lane. We might have to pull over. I might not make it. We blew a hose. A hose blew. We lost coolant is what I'm leaning toward now. All right, we're gonna stop by a gas station, grab a little bit more coolant. We're gonna let this thing cool down. We're gonna pour coolant in. We're gonna monitor this thing. We're gonna check the oil, see how much, what happened to our head gaskets, what happened to our heads. That was a freaking severe overheat there. And I think the culprit was just a bad hose.
Oh, there's a Napa.
Alright, so there was a crack in this hose earlier. The best case scenario is that the crack in the hose, it was losing coolant gradually until there was none left, and then it overheated. That's the best case scenario. Reason being is because we got it fixed, you know, it would mean that the water pump, the thermostat, and the radiator are not the culprits. Now, the radiator itself, let's see how warm this still is. Okay, we're gonna throw some more coolant in there. We're also gonna check the oil. How much coolant got into our oil? Did we crack our heads? Did we blow our gasket? We could stand to add a bit of oil. How much is this thing gonna suck up? There was no coolant in this. There was no coolant. We ran our engine with basically zero coolant, which, according to the factory service manual, is not optimal. 3 gallons. Do you know what the cooling system capacity is on a Grand Wagoneer? Here we go. Capacities, cooling system. 14 quarts for the V8. 4 quarts per gallon. 3.5 gallons. We've gone through 3, and I still need to add some. So there was no coolant in my motor. Oh man, that sucks. What's going to be left of this motor is the question. That's a good question. I don't know the answer. Ideally, you'd have a funnel for this task, but I'm a trained motor oil pourer. Black belt, really. Okay, so we are going to drive around in circles until the cooling system is up to the thermostat set point temperature, at which point it will either continue on into the red, at which point we will start crying, or it will stay put and we will drive off into the sunset. I'm gonna guess it'll be the former. Oh.
Now we're talking.
Okay. Right where it needs to be. Right around that coolant temperature set point.
In case you thought you felt cool, here's a minivan, and there's a Subaru behind us. We're getting our butts kicked out.
We really are. We're getting our freaking behind. But then again, we're loaded to the gills.
It's like doing a rally stage in a school bus.
That's exactly what it feels like. I don't know how we're gonna get up this, but screw it. We gotta get down there, so we'll take it. Oh god.
Ow, ow, ow. I think I see him down there.
All the way down there?
Yeah. Gotta get the footage. Couple of static seconds.